Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Kojimo here, back with another video. Today we are going to talk about economy. I'm going to give you the tools to understand exactly what you should be buying and when you should be buying it in this game. This is extremely valuable, extremely important, because a lot of us are just completely doing this wrong. I've been working with some players recently on my coaching channel, and it seems to be a common error where we just don't understand economy in this game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to talk about T side and CT side today. I'm going to give you my advice from playing in the pro scene and just all the things that you need to know. On T side, guys, it is very simple. What you need to understand from the get-go on pistol round here is that if you don't have an idea going to the round, just get a Kevlar vest. On pistol round, you generally do not want to save any money besides you don't need decoys, right? So generally that means you're just buying a Kevlar vest and that's it. If you're buying nades or dropping pistols to other players, more power to you, awesome. But you are buying down 100% that you can. The biggest mistake on pistol round is players they save money, right? There's no reason to save money because pistol round is so impactful that it is detrimental to save, because even one flash could mean the difference between you winning and losing the round. Way too many new players do not understand that. Now, guys, let's talk about if we lose pistol round. On T side, if you get the bomb down, right, we plant the bomb, we are going to get a bonus injection of cash. I think that you should actually force on that round after you get bomb down. So the score is 0-1. You got bomb down, especially if you got some kills. Go ahead and try your best to get armor and then a Galil if possible. If you're really lucky and got lots of kills in AK, or just get a Mac 10 and force up. Do everything you can to force up, because a lot of times you can actually win the second round without bomb plant. Generally, you're going to want to do strats where you're at close range on the opponents, like in tons. A cat hit, a mid to B is good. And, you know, you just overall just try to run them down. Use your Galils, use your AK if you have it to open things up, or just run them over with the Mac 10s, because the Mac 10 is honestly your go-to on T side when you don't have that much money. It's so cheap, it gives you a great kill reward, and it's just overall super amazing. Now, in general, if we win pistol round, what you're trying to do is you are trying to get Mac 10s to build money, and then AK and Galils. These are like the three guns you should be buying when you win pistol round as a T, for different reasons. Like I said, mobility and money, Mac 10 price wise, Galil if you don't have enough for an AK but you still want a rifle, and then an AK if you have a lot of money from planting the bomb, getting kills, you have your armor still intact, awesome. Regardless of what you do, 100% make sure that you have head armor. You always want head armor when you can on T side, and so if you ever win around, that's got to be a priority, is to get that. Before I get into the rest of this video, I do have to give you a message about how to get the best looking Counter-Strike 2 skins inside of the game. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, KOJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description. All right, guys, so if we are sitting there and, you know, we're playing this game out, the rounds start going back and forth, what you need to realize is that on T side, you are always trying to get an AK or an op. These are your two weapons that you are always trying to work towards. And obviously with that, we want both armor. We want the Kevlar helmet combo, because it's so important. Once we have these two guns, we are chilling, we're doing our thing. You want to stay alive. You're obviously going to want to get util as well. That's very important. If you want to focus on getting a Galil and full util, if you can't afford AK and full util, that's a great route to go. But these are what we are working for consistently. Now, this is going to depend, this is going to be easier or harder depending on if we're winning or losing rounds. In general, in this game, guys, this is a very good rule to live by. If you are below $1,900, right, 1,900, you should just force, because you are going to be on a double save. So if my bank account says 1,700, I'm on a double save anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to force up a deagle and like armor, a tech 9 and half armor and nades or something. But that's a very easy thing to gauge. 1,900 or lower, I'm forcing. Now, if the round plays out and I have $2,000, right? I have 2,000 and this loss bonus says I'm going to get 1,900. I'm probably going to full save, because then I can get AK armor or a Galil and full nades the next round and have a pretty good buy. So in general, when we are saving, it is when our money is in that 2,000 to 2,500, 600, 700, 800 dollar range, because we don't want to go into the round with really bad weaponry and just be forcing every single round, right? So that's an easy way to look at it on T side. And when you're forcing, generally you want to, the most you want to buy is a Mac 10. Or when you're saving, right? If you have some bonus cash and you want to do something, maybe get a Mac 10, but in general, you're just getting a pistol, maybe armor, depending on the round, and very little nades. When you're saving, guys, you're not supposed to be buying a ton of nades unless you are specifically running a very set strat or something. It is a total waste of money to do that. So when you are saving, make sure you're actually saving, because a lot of people think they are, but then it's just a complete waste of time. The reason sometimes I like getting the Mac 10 on a save round, if I have enough money to do it and I'm not throwing my eco away, is because I can then farm more money. I can get more kills and, you know, hurt their economy in the process of what I'm doing. Overall, guys, just make sure you're not throwing your life away, because a lot of new players, they don't understand how valuable and how important it is just staying alive. We think this game is a death match sometimes, and we just fight to death, and then we're like, well, why can't I buy every round? Why can't I get AKs? Why can't I do these things? Because you're just throwing your life away for no reason. It's so vital. It's so important. Also realize, guys, the more rounds you lose, the higher this loss bonus is gonna go up. So if you lose 4 rounds in a row, you're eventually going to be getting, I believe, someone can fact check me, it's gonna be like $3,500 or $3,400. Well, with that, you can buy it pretty easy. So instead of the $2,000 mark I'm trying to save down to, right, I'm buying like pistol armor. If I'm getting $3,400 in the round, I honestly might be more inclined to get like Kevlar helmet and a Mac 10 and have maybe, you know, $1,200 left in my bank, right? Because I'm like, hey, I'm getting an AK and armor anyways. We've lost the last 4 rounds. I might as well buy up a little bit more, right? I'm still saving, but because my loss bonus is going to add up, it makes sense, right? So in general, the minimum you want is $3,700. Why? Because that's going to be an AK-47 and Kevlar and helmet. So minimum that you are doing the math of, and you can do the math very easy right here. In the loss bonus, you can add it up, or in your buy menu here, if you look at the top right, it's going to say next round minimum, and because I'm in a custom server, it says 56,000. So it does the math for you. It literally tells you. So never, if you are in quotes saving, should that be below 3,700, because that's the minimum, right? Very simple, very easy to understand. Let's go ahead and hop over to CT side. If you made it this far in the video, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. Join my Discord. Let's talk about this. Same thing on CT pistol. Buy everything you can. Buy everything you can. I've done pistol guides, guys. If you are very curious about what you should be doing on pistol round, please watch those videos. Say we win pistol round. If we win pistol round, guys, what we are going to do is either get an MP9, a FAMAS, an M4. Yeah, like those are generally MP9, FAMAS, or M4. That should be your go-to. Maybe on some maps you could get an XM. That's a little bit troll, but make sure you're getting full armor. If you win pistol round, you need head armor, because you're going to be facing off against Glocks, P250s. If they're forcing Mac 10s and Galils, you 100% need that head armor. Even if you have to rebuy it for $1,000, you got to commit to it and do that. If you're playing long range positions, the FAMAS and M4 are going to be your go-to. Say like I'm playing Dust 2 long here and I'm trying to take these fights. Of course, I'm going to want an M4 then, because all my fights are long range. Versus if I'm a B player, I need to prioritize utility. I just have to, right? So I'm going to do everything I can to get full nades, molly, flash, nade, and smoke, so that I can shut down this B push. And then also, you know, bonus points is you can just play a close range angle. Again, same thing with the Mac 10. The MP9 is going to give you a very nice kill reward. You're going to farm a lot of money with it. It's amazing. Very good stuff. On CT side, same thing. We're working towards M4 and op. If you're an AUG player, you can get the AUG. But you're working towards these 2/3 guns. That's your final purchases. And of course, you're always trying to pick up AKs off the ground, because they're very strong. They're very valuable. If you're using an A4, more power to you. It's slightly more expensive, but it's a good gun as well. Some people in their loadout have the A4 instead of the AUG. That's, you know, again, more power to you. Cool. It's amazing, right? So on CT side, though, your utility is so important. Make sure you are spending the money to get that utility, because that stops the T's from doing what they want. You are at a disadvantage most of the rounds on CT side because your gun is weaker, you're spread out thinner. Your utility is your way to problem solve that, and so many players don't understand that. Now, guys, if we lose pistol round, a lot of times on CT side, I am completely saving. I am full saving. That's my preference. That's what I do. If I'm playing a map like Inferno, I'm forcing up though. So I guess it is map to map. And I say that because Inferno is so close range that the MP9 and armor is actually a very good combo, or, you know, 5.7 full armor nades. Amazing. But generally, if you lose pistol round on CT side, if you got like 1 or 2 kills, get a P2 or 5.7. But in general, we're just full saving and we're using our USPs. so that we can get ourselves an M4 and armor going into the next round. A lot of the stuff on CT side is very similar to T side. You're going to have to save up slightly more money because the A1S is 2,900. Also, you're going to want to get a kit most of the time. Your utility is more important. So your economy is exactly the same. You're going to look at this next round minimum again. I'd say for CT side, the minimum, like the minimum that you're going for is 2,900 plus 650. So what is that? 3,550, right? $3,550, because that is going to guarantee that you have an M4 and half armor. On CT side, if they are on AKs and ops, we don't need head armor. If they're not on those guns, we 100% need head armor. So you can play that out depending on if they're going to have AKs and ops, because they're going to one-shot you in the head anyways. Minimum 3,550, probably more likely though $3,900 minimum, and then you can get your nades and stuff. I'd recommend though, like, especially if you're like a B player or something, you know, get yourself a FAMAS and full nades then, instead of getting that M4. Get yourself a XM, some like gimmicky weapon that you can dump and use nades for. But yeah, in general, overall the strategy is the same. Another common mistake I see people making is buying pistols way too much. Guys, if you're a rifler, stop buying a secondary pistol. That's such a waste of money. Genuinely, it's such a waste of money. Also, if you want to be a good teammate, drop a flash and spawn and rebuy another one. If your economy is looking pretty good, that's always a great way to do it. But in general, this is just the way you should be playing the game, the way you should be looking at it. A lot of people are curious about the economy. This was actually a recommendation from one of the comments. So I'm actually reading your guys' comments. I'm making videos based on what you want to see, and I really do appreciate all of the suggestions out there. So yeah, guys, keep being good teammates, strap your teammates weapons, of course, always do your thing, make me proud, and I will see you at the top one day. Peace out.